Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on the channel. Just days ago, the third trailer for the new Resident Evil 4 Remake dropped and I'm here to check it out. Before going into the video, I just want to let you guys know that this game is looking pretty sick right now, to the point where I think if they do most things right in this game, it could as well become a masterpiece. But all excitement aside, we're just gonna have to wait for what Capcom delivers us, as the game only has under 1 month before it releases. But for now, why don't we check out a new trailer that just dropped. Beforehand, Capcom gave us 2 trailers and some gameplay along with it. The gameplay that we were provided was about 2 chapters of the game. Whilst we weren't given too much gameplay for these 2 chapters, it's still really nice to see how the game actually plays out and its new mechanics. In terms of the 2 trailers, they gave us a bit of a glimpse of what the game was going to look like, but none of these reveals combined can show us the amount of content that this trailer did. So let's get straight to it. The first 5 seconds of the trailer shows us 2 bird-eyed views of different scenes over a Capcom logo, both of which seem to be inside of Salazar's castle. In the first scene, we see a dimly lit area, sort of cave-like, inside of the castle with someone walking around. By the looks of it, the silhouette that we can make out in this scene seems to be Leon or Ashley, but they walk in a pretty weird way, so maybe it's neither. In the second scene, we see sort of a grotesque dungeon area. Once again, dimly lit, there seems to be chains hanging from the ceiling, blood everywhere including mostly on the floor, and some corpses. The focus of this scene is definitely the top middle figure. It seems to be the corpse of a worshipper who was infected and killed by the Plaguer. Keep in mind that for the first 20 seconds of the trailer, we hear Sadler doing a voiceover. After these 2 scenes, we get some footage of gameplay. Here, Leon seems to be in some sort of flooded cave system. Next, we suddenly cut to a cultist being consumed by the Plaguer. Interestingly enough, this seems to be a new type of Plaguer. For this new type of Plaguer, the victim seems to have weird things spurting out their back and increased movement speed. We then cut to Leon actually fighting this thing. We see this ferocious movement speed while Leon is trying to fire at it, making it seem like quite a formidable enemy. Meaning if your reaction time isn't great, this thing can catch you lacking pretty easily. Then we take a quick look at Sadler's throne room. Here we can see Ashley in the middle on a table and Leon beside her. This gets accompanied by a close-up of Sadler's face next to Leon's. Sadler seems to look very similar to how he looks like in the original game. Overall, with the improved graphics, I think he does look better than the original. Then we get shown possessed/infected Ashley taking out Leon's knife. Then we get a close-up of her infected/possessed face saying Temperance Child. I'm not quite sure what this is meant to mean, but we might be fighting Ashley. We get a nice little bird-eyed view of enemies attacking Leon. This seems to be inside of one of the towers at Salazar's castle. Then we cut to Leon fighting these enemies while we have Salazar's voiceover. Afterwards, we get shown a segment inside of the basement where Leon is fighting Plaguers. We get shown a neat little quick-time event to do with the Plaguers. Next, we are actually in one of the courtyards of the castle where we have to shoot a cannon into the main gate. But this scene isn't so simple, it's actually very chaotic in the original game, as while you try to hoist up the cannon, you actually have a lot of cultists firing catapults at you. To me at least, Salazar's voice is nicely interpreted from the original. Excitingly, next we get shown some very sought after Luis Serra action. This starts off with Leon fighting the 2 ogres above the lava pit, but amazingly enough, it's not only Leon and the ogres, it's actually Luis Serra there with you. In the original game, we definitely did not get enough Luis. Therefore, spoiler alert, when he dies in the original, there isn't much of a shock to it. So it's really nice to see more Luis through him actually being with Leon along the journey. It's very much cool and Leon-like to go through the majority of the story just by himself, killing all the enemies. But it makes more sense to have Luis there to help him. Up next, we get shown another fan favorite, Jack Krauser. The scene where we actually get shown Jack Krauser is when he's about to have a knife fight with Leon just before they discuss what happened. Next, we are shown Leon fighting even more cultists inside of the castle. This scene really seems to demonstrate how beautiful the new engine looks. There's a very nice looking fog environment around the castle as well as atmospheric lighting. I can definitely tell just by these clips that this game is going to be absolutely blessed with the newly improved RE engine, which over the years has been developed and created by Capcom. It seems that we were shown a bit of a glimpse at a destructive environment with the candle stand toppling over. I wonder if a destructive environment will be throughout the game or just particular scenes. In the original game you had a very interesting section where you played only as Ashley, and by the looks of it, this part of the story is coming to the remake. We only get it shown for a split second, but we can see Ashley hiding behind a bookcase and you can control her. As I said before, this was a very interesting part of the original game and I'm very glad it's being put into this one. We're just going to have to wait and see how the gameplay is different with Ashley. Ashley's gameplay cuts to a section when you're inside of the castle and you have to piggyback up Ashley to help turn some cogs. This is part of the story where Ashley is sent out to do some tasks, and while she's doing them, she is very vulnerable and therefore needs Leon to protect her. This is a very pressurizing scene in the original game and I wonder how they will adapt it. In the same scene we do get a look at the scope of the new AR. Then we get some back and forths of Leon either talking to Louise or to Ashley. After this we get shown a bit of the chopper gunner scene at the island. This is actually one of the only looks that we get at the island during the trailer, but I don't mind too much. It would be nice to keep it a surprise. After this we jump straight into Leon and Louise being in the minecart. In the original, it did feel kinda lonely and boring being down there by yourself, but with someone to accompany you, I'm sure it will be much better. Especially if the person that accompanies you is Louise Sarah. The minecart scene does look more expansive than the original, which is great to see. We get more of Sadler's dialogue as we see a pulsating organism inside of his lair. In between this, we get an intense sequence of an El Garador hurting Leon. This is accompanied by a very short sequence where Leon has to find a cure for Ashley. We're thrown into the fight scene between Leon and Jack Krauser, looking great and having some good QuickTime events. Playing through all of this is Leon's dialogue. We're back to Salazar giving a speech and then suddenly a sudden flash of Ada Wong. She played a decently large role in the original game, so I wonder what she will do this time. Beforehand, we couldn't play with Louise Sarah, but now it's different, so maybe that's a hint. We get shown what Leon looks like while he is infected with the Plaga, and how Salazar's new pet bugs look like. Then the trailer proceeds to cut to black. But it's not over yet, because Capcom just couldn't finish this trailer without showing us the nightmare-inducing laboratory on the island. We just take a look at the messy environment and some flashing lights, so nothing too bad. But if you have played the game in the past, you very well know that there are regenerators in there, and they are not exactly the most pleasant folk, especially to look at. I personally think that they should have ended the trailer with having a louder audio clip of them breathing, but obviously this is not a creative choice that Capcom wanted to make. All I'm saying is you guys at Capcom really missed out a big chance here. But oh well, I guess you still have opportunities for the future. Right at the end, we get a little teaser about the new mercenary mode, but then the trailer really has ended. I think it's a great showcase of what is coming up and is very promising for the future. It seems like the game is improving in every way as well as sticking true to the original. But anyway guys, this was my analysis of the new Resident Evil 4 Remake trailer, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. As always, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.